obviously you and Joe Perry have developed a friendship over the years, but it's
still, whatever. Anyways, what do you
it's still got to be such a thrill for you to go out and tour with him doing the Joe Perry project, because I know you guys just did a bunch of shows together, and I also wanted to ask, how much do you have to do with the set list?
That's a good question.
He just froze. I think Nuno sabotaged his internet.
Joe Perry just hit some fucking buttons somewhere. Like, he's like, eh.
Gary totally froze.
Wow, he's not frozen. He's posing. Come on,
Nuno put the whammy on him. Nuno,
what timing is that? What great timing is that? Wow.
While we wait for Gary to unfreeze, talk about the tour you have coming up, man.
Yeah, well, look, we got August, man. This knee, like I said, get this meniscus fixed, hopefully, and I'm sure I do. And we got August. We're doing the U.S. September is Australia, Asia, all with Living Color, and then we're going to Japan at the end of September, and then UK, Europe in November. So thank God we got a little bit of October off just to see if I can walk again, see what happens.
And how was the response to the shows you just did in Brazil?
It was great, man. We just did the one show, man. We flew like 20 something hours of travel each way, and we did that one show. But it was, what a night. We played right before Morello, and then Vi was supposed to play the next night, but he showed up. So I dragged him on stage. Me and Gary did Cochise with Morello, which was awesome. So fucking awesome. And then I pulled Vi out when he was doing Power to the People, I think, or something like that. And me and Vi were doing BV. So it was kind of cool, like, 3 guitarists on stage and with the whole band. It was pretty fun. Brazilian crowds are so passionate. They're so incredible. They have such a love for their artists and their bands,
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to go there myself, and our old TV show was on there, so we got a lot of email and people from there. Don, anything else you want to jump in on before we let these guys go?
Well, I was just going to mention, you mentioned Living Color, those shows. There could definitely be some epic jams with those guys on the road, man. I mean, between your band and their band.
Without a doubt, Living Color were kind of like one of those bands at the time that we came out as well, that were kind of the bastard children of metal and rock. Like, a lot of people didn't know what to do with us because we weren't metal, but yet we weren't, we were like opening for like ZZ Top and then Bryan Adams. And then, we did our early stuff with Winger. We played with Winger and I think Dangerous Toys and a few other stuff. But then it got to a point that when we released Porno, nobody knew what to do with us. They didn't know where to put us. And I think the other bands that were kind of in our level, because we were doing funk and there was horns and people were like, what is this? Are you guys met? What are you doing? More Than Words fucked them up even more. They didn't know what to do with us after that. But Living Color was kind of in our realm and that funkiness as well. And so was King's X, was a little bit outside the box. So those were kind of the land of misfit toys. That's why I think we love doing tours with those guys, because I think that we suit each other a bit in the tone and the culture of cult, man, the cult of personality.
Hey, one more thing from me, and that is, so Nuno, just before you ended on my radio show earlier, you dropped some information about the name of the gorilla on the cover of the new album 6. And we should now, Don, did you hear the show today by chance?
No, there he is though.
Okay, so wait, do this for Don. So Nuno, tell Don the name of the gorilla and see if he can figure out.
We had to name our gorilla. He's a big part. He's a big part of the. People ask, why is the gorilla? What does he mean? And we always, when we started writing stuff like Rise and Rebel and Save Me and Mask, some of the heavier stuff, we were like, man, Gary, I think said, he goes, sounds like this stuff sounds like a 700-pound gorilla, and it stuck with me. And I think I searched for years, and then when I saw that face, who is now, his name is Pakanuga. Once I saw that face, it was like, wow, that's the album cover. Why? He's weathered. We're older like him. He's like, but it's an older gorilla, but he's got that look, like that fierce look, like, we'll still fuck you up. Don't fuck with me, man. I am still a gorilla. And Eddie's still got that smirk. He's still got a smirk on his face. We have a lighter side that we have. He's got the heart-shaped nose. He's got all the elements in there of what extreme is and isn't. I think he touches everything. But yeah, his name is Pakanuga.
Don, do you know why?
Well, I thought it was Harambe at first, but
Harambe. How'd you get that?
You don't remember Harambe? The when the kid got caught in his cage, the
gorilla. The kid got caught in the cage. No, we didn't.
He saved him. Yeah.
So Don, Nuno said this on the radio and was asking people if they could figure out what the name means or where it comes from. Do you have it? Do you know?
No.
Does Pakanuga make any sense to you?
Pakanuga, P-A-K-E
N-U-G-A.
N-U.
There it is. So
Pakanuga. Think about it. Look at those initials. Because my radio audience, after you hung up, they all called in and they had it immediately, and now they all want free tickets. I was like, I didn't say that.
I said one winner.
Pat, Kevin, Nuno, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
First two initials of each name. And it's a perfect name for a gorilla.
Gorilla name, if I ever heard one.
Total gorilla name.
Yeah, I could see
we'll have to work on our gorilla name for next week.
What's that?
Exactly. Everybody can come up with a gorilla name with a group of people. Exactly.
There it is.
I don't know if Gary's coming back on, so should we should let Nuno wrap up and get out of here, right, Don?
Camp. Paul Gary called him and censored him. Couldn't speak anymore about it.
Yeah, Joe put the kibosh on him. It's over now.
Hey, we're down a guy too, because normally we have Jim with us, but he had to go coach his kids' basketball game, so we're down a member.
Kids are more important than rock and roll and metal.
I know. But it's the championship.
You got to get
the championship.
Who needs the championship? You know, every kid's going to get a trophy. The losers are getting a trophy. That's how it is these days. Everybody wins.
Sad but true. You're right. All right, man. We'll let you get out of here and take care of that knee. And congrats on the record. We got a question here, real quick. Mourning Widows and Drama Gods influences on the new album. They hear much of those bands on the new Extreme record.
Well, it's interesting that somebody would say they hear those influences, because it's kind of reverse. The extreme me is what probably is on those Drama God albums, but I know what they mean. I think there are moments on here. You know, I don't know if I'm like crazy or not, but it wasn't until the album was done, and you kind of mentioned it today, and you said, I hear everything you guys have ever done on this album. You know, there's like solo stuff. There's Extreme 1, Porno, 3 Sides, like
Punchline.
Punchline. It's like, I think there's a lot of different tastes and a lot of, it's almost like this is your life version of a culmination of all the extreme textures and sounds that we've done. So I think that's kind of cool. It's a good way to celebrate it.
What was it like to play at the Freddie Mercury tribute in '92?
I mean, are you kidding me? You look at our faces on there. We're like deer in headlights the whole time. We're just smiles and look, prepping for something like that, asked to play at the house the Queen built, Wembley Stadium, and not only being asked to play it, but then we got in trouble. We were supposed to play our own music like everybody else did, but me and Gary, no, we got to do our tribute to Queen. And we got in trouble because later on, a lot of those same songs were played by some of the heavyweights like Bowie and sitting in with the Queen guys. But when we about to go on, we were nervous enough because it was televised to like, I don't know, hundreds of millions or whatever it was watching. And then Brian goes up and just fucked our heads up even worse. He's like, this is the band, I'm paraphrasing, but the band that more on this planet than nobody else that knows what Queen and Freddie were all about, and building it up so much. And he was right, by the way. I'm a humble guy, but I'm telling you, we are the ultimate Queen fans. And he was saying that for a reason, because we've had so many talks with him about deep cuts and deep albums. But after he said that, we were like, uh-oh, we better go out and deliver. And it was a really, I'm sorry, but, even John Deacon even said, they basically said something after we got off. He goes, man, I was listening on the car on the radio, and he said, you guys stole the show today, like with what we did at Wembley at Live Aid, meaning that you went in the spirit of what it really was. And you played the Queen, you played for the Queen fans what they wanted to hear, and you really celebrated Freddie the way it was supposed to be done, in a rock and roll way. And they sang every lyric from front to bottom, man. We were doing Radio Gaga and they're doing the hands up. It was something we will never, definitely a top 5 gig of all time. I mean, if not it was insane. It was insane. You'll never forget it.
Hey, do I have to sell my house to see the band in Europe, or will we have the Thicker Than Blood tour in Brazil next year? Thanks to see the band in Europe. You're going to Europe, right?
We're going to Europe. Yeah, sell your house for sure.
Donate the money to Nuno.
Donate the money. I'll send you where to send the account. Come and stay with me for a while, no problem. But no, I mean, look, we have to. It felt really bizarre going. I'm glad we did, but it felt strange. And we were going as a replacement, by the way, and God bless Jeff Beck. We were replacing Jeff Beck in this lineup. We weren't supposed to be playing the gig that we played, the Best of Blues and rock in Brazil. So it was an honor to replace Beck. But it was weird to not play the rest of Brazil and South America. It was just strange. A new album out and not, you know, we were a replacement, so we couldn't book a tour, but we definitely got to get back there and do, you know, Sao Paulo and Rio and different parts of Brazil and go to Argentina and Chile and all those places. We definitely got to make it back one way or another.
I got a text here from Gary. He has thunderstorms in his area and it knocked out his Wi-Fi. So he said, thank you, goodbye to everybody. And he's out. His Wi-Fi is out. So
yeah, that's a good one, Gary. I like that.
Right when Don asked this question, Gary's gone.
What is game on is something better. I don't know.
Yeah, what does he have, a dial-up over there? What's he doing over there?
Yeah, Massachusetts, man. They're behind back there.